Thank you so much for joining us, Senator. So this is Prime Minister Sharif's very first visit to China since Pakistan's new cabinet took office this year. So what can we expect from his visit, especially in regards in key topics in the talks between the two leaders?
I would say this is the most important visit of Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, during his entire tenure. And its importance can be gauged from three factors. Number one, the composition of the delegation, which is very high-powered, almost a dozen cabinet ministers and senior officials. Secondly, the agenda of the talks, which is going to focus on not just expansion of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, which is the pillar and flagship of the Belt and Road Initiative launched by President Xi Jinping a decade back, but it is also going to be what I call CPEC Plus, that we are going to see a relationship which is more multifaceted, multidimensional, beyond just economic development, beyond just energy cooperation, beyond just political and security cooperation, cooperation in all domains of development between Pakistan and China. And the third important element which can be important in understanding the significance of this visit is the itinerary of the visit. The first stop is Shenzhen, which is today the high-tech hub of the world, where China's science, technology, and prowess in different high-tech areas is on display. And then he goes to Beijing to meet the senior Chinese leadership led by President Xi Jinping. Then he goes to Xi'an. Xi'an is important both symbolically and substantively because Xi'an is where, over 2,000 years ago, the Silk Road began. And the Silk Road was the one which has been a historic uniting factor between China and other countries in the region, including Pakistan, because it was a corridor of connectivity through commerce and culture. And today, the Silk Road has been revived through the Belt and Road Initiative. So you're talking of connectivity among cultures, continents, and countries. So all in all, it's going to be a very important visit. We expect major breakthroughs in this visit, and we feel that this visit will be a plus both for Pakistan-China cooperation and especially for Pakistan at a time when we are facing economic difficulties and pressures from the outside world. China's relationship, which is a time-tested relationship, all-weather partnership, it provides a strategic option for Pakistan to pursue its own path of development through bilateral and multilateral cooperation.
Well, you've mentioned the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is a landmark project under the Belt and Road Initiative. So what role has it played in promoting regional connectivity, and how has it helped improving people's lives and create jobs?
First of all, we are very grateful to China that when CPEC was launched 10 years ago, China was the first country to repose confidence in the people of Pakistan and in the state of Pakistan, because at that time the region was strife-torn with the US troops in Afghanistan. There were the issues of terrorism in Pakistan. So I would say that CPEC has been a qualitative step forward in giving new hope and confidence to the people of Pakistan, in making Pakistan a hub of regional connectivity, linking Pakistan and South Asia with the Central Asian republics, and also drawing attention in the south to the Gulf states who are also investing now. And then above all, it has generated 255,000 jobs. It has generated 8,000 megawatts of electricity. It has led to 600 kilometers of road and highway development. It has led to 28,000 Pakistani students studying in China, including 8,000 doing their doctorate. So you can see that CPEC has been extremely important in uplifting Pakistan's people and Pakistan's economy to new heights.
And Senator, how do you think China and Pakistan should handle counterterrorism cooperation? What do you think are the main challenges facing today's pressing situation in the security arena? What do you think are the main challenges?
Unfortunately, there are some people who are very concerned about containing China, or so-called peaceful rise of China. They are worried about the peaceful rise of China, and China is not a threat to anybody. And similarly, the Pakistan-China relationship rattles certain international quarters. So we are also a victim of geopolitics in this very strategic part of the world as two neighbors who are just keen for peaceful development. So I would say that there should be a concerted, cooperative strategy which should comprehensively, jointly tackle the scourge of terrorism, because this is a common threat and terrorism has no borders. And I would say that Pakistan's efforts should be reinforced with Chinese support, and that support should be forthcoming because there are multiple Chinese projects in Pakistan. There are thousands of Chinese personnel, experts, engineers, and technicians in Pakistan. And these acts of terrorism detract from the goal of economic development and of providing for peaceful and successful development of the China-Pakistan economic corridor. So I would say that out-of-the-box initiatives are needed together with China and Pakistan, and we can lick the problem because this is a common problem and we know what is the source of this problem and who are the elements behind this resurgence of terrorism.
Well, Senator, China and Pakistan have launched several cooperation projects in the space industry. For example, the Chang'e 6 lunar probe carried Pakistan's iQube, releasing it into orbit around Moon on May the 8th. So what do you see are the future prospects in space collaboration between China and Pakistan?
We are very grateful to China for giving this support and opportunity for Pakistan, taking us from the ground to the moon, as it were, because outer space is the new frontier in terms of technological development. And China and Pakistan believe in peaceful exploration of outer space in the interests of science and technology. And this is an element in which Pakistan's own indigenous development of rocket sciences and China's very advanced, sophisticated development of science, technology, and innovation can be a good converging point in taking Pakistan forward. And we feel that this cooperation is in the best interests of both China and Pakistan, and the best interests of outer space exploration for the common good of humanity.
Right, Senator, we're seeing a world confronted with the accelerated changes unseen in a century. How do you think China and Pakistan can better cooperate in a multipolar world?
Well, the two key components are there in which Pakistan and China share a common worldview and a common perspective. First is that there is an inexorable and irreversible shift in the global balance of economic and political power from the West, which is in relative decline, to the East. And in this context, we are seeing the dawn of the Asian century, where China's peaceful development and peaceful rise is a source of strength to small and medium countries of the global South. So given this context, both of the countries, Pakistan and China, oppose global hegemony, oppose interference, oppose a new Cold War, and they feel that the relationships among countries should be based on the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, the subscribing to the UN Charter and international law, and we reject this references to the rules-based international order, because this is basically a Western fraud. It's based on double standards, it's based on hypocrisy. If there was a rules-based order, there would be no genocide in Gaza. And the rules-based order is a weaponized form of diplomacy to put pressure on countries like China and Pakistan, which we totally reject. So we are living in an epoch of turbulence and transformation, and we hope that we can work together to build a better tomorrow, both China and Pakistan, a better tomorrow with no overlords and no underdogs.
Exactly. In the world faced with so many challenges, both economically and in the security arena, China and Pakistan have so many areas to cooperate. Thank you so much, Senator, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.